Welcome back, everyone. This is Wisconsin Shoe Guy, and today we're going to do a quick review of some of the fantastic split-toe derbies that we've seen this week. Different materials, different styles, a lot of different things to cover, and I really hope that you guys find this interesting, at least as interesting as I do. So here we go. So these are my ALDEN 2210s. There are a split-toe blucher on the ABERDEEN last in shell cordovan. I really like these. They're the hand-sewn job on the apron is just fantastic, and I love the way they do the toes. It's very unique. It's a very different color than other shell cordovan, and I'm very happy with the way these turned out. I bought them in San Francisco at the ALDEN store. While there, I also picked up a shoe that's in a different color, same style. It is the 962. This beautiful tan color really adds to the flexibility in the wardrobe, and I love the shoe. I kind of have a love-hate relationship with the DELRAY. I didn't like it at first when I first got into shoes, and now I find it to be one of the classiest examples that Allen Edmonds produces. Really love this shoe. The first split toe I ever owned was this version in black, back when all I wore black shoes. The Allen Edmonds WALTON is an absolute classic. It's got the longer Algonquin toe, which I really like. On that first trip to the Allen Edmonds tent sale, I also picked up a pair of Allen Edmonds Bradleys in black calf. Since then, when I was expanding my shell cordovan collection, I found these. And this is the first pair of first quality shell cordovan shoes that I ever bought from Allen Edmonds. I'm really happy with the way these turned out. Just love the fit, love the way that they look. The ASCOT KAAN. This is a shoe that is hand sewn in Northampton, and then it's lasted in Budapest by Vass. It's a really exciting shoe. It's got this Russian Horween hatched grain leather, and just absolutely fantastic construction. I'm really, really happy with this shoe. As I started expanding my collection, I wanted to try something from Italy. And the first pair that I really glommed onto were these CAMINOs. I really love the way they have a very different shape to them, and they have this awesome Norwegian welt. My first experience buying from the Noble Shoe in Stockholm, Sweden, I picked up this pair of Carlos Santos split toes. I love the way that these look. The pattern on these is just phenomenal, and the split toe on these is reversed and is nearly invisible. Gotta love it. The first split toes that I bought from CARMINA were this pair of 80814s. This is the forest last, their most traditional last for the Norwegian shoes. I just love the way that these look and will value them as part of my collection for a long time to come. My first pair of pebble grain shoes are these CROCKETT & Jones Durham. This is a split toe in a very country style. I love the way that these feel and the way that they look. I actually had them for sale for a little while, but then I pulled back on them because I just like them so much. Great shoes. While I was in New York this winter, I happened to stop by the CROCKETT & Jones store and took a look at these beautiful HARDWICKs. I do think that this is one of the smartest styles that CROCKETT & Jones does in a split toe, and really glad that I picked them up in a brown suede as part of my brown suede collection. A new pair I added to the arsenal this week. These Foster & Son Wheatleys actually have Henry Maxwell markings on them. That is a shared factory and premises that they share in Savile Row. I'm really happy with the way these, actually in St. James, I'm really happy with the way these came out. I put a lot of time into the first polish just to get them just right. The day-night soles on these are beautiful, and the pebble grain just is outstanding. Speaking of pebble grain, the first pair of MEERMIN pebble grain that I bought are these split toes. It's a custom MTO order, the 101601, so not one that you can get all the time. It's on the Rock Last. I really like the way that these look and feel. As we get into the handmade line, these are PAOLO SCAFORAs are on the door last. They've got a beautiful Norwegian welt, which I'll spend a little bit of time on, but these are also one of the new acquisitions this week, and I really like the way that they came out. There's just so much detail in these shoes. They spend a lot of time really making sure that they get the detail right. You've got this sole, which is just outstanding. You've got the hand stitching on the vamp and apron, which is just to die for, and then you have this Goyser welt, which I love. Really like these shoes. On the other end of the spectrum, you have these great machine-made shoes, which I like as well. When I first started getting into Instagram and started looking at split toes, I couldn't help seeing the PARABOOT AVIGNON. It's just a wonderful shoe and a wonderful example. I decided to use this as the basis for my suede collection, and this is why I started with this color. Very hard to find, but I love to have it. As I've continued to look for new and interesting things, I came across these shoes, which have one of the most interesting welts out there, and then they're also made of Utah calf, which I'd never seen before outside of Edward Green. So really, really happy that I picked these up. So we're going to close out with this new TLB Artista range 136. This is a really, really finely made shoe. It's the first one I've had on the Artista range with a rubber sole. And I'm not a fan of city soles normally, but this sole is so intricately done. Really, really happy with the way these came out and the way they feel. Great arch support, great look, just the whole package.